everyone, my name is Michelle. Welcome back to Yggdrasil, and I know that today is a holiday. However, I personally don't really celebrate it. I mean, I guess it's like, yay, springtime and Easter bunnies and everything like that, but other than that, obviously no one's obligated to stay here. So if you would like to join me, that was 100% welcome. But also, I just figured I would react to this video by DissociaDID today because one of my main questions, or one of my main concerns, I guess I have is how does DissociaDID, right after they got diagnosed, have such good communication with their alters? Now listen, I could be I'm just gonna watch the video and give my opinion as I'm watching it, but I don't know, I'm sure there are systems out there who have fabulous communication with their alters, but from what I've heard, it takes a lot of therapy and work rather than right after getting diagnosed, we all use the same app to say who's out. What's up, y'all? How's your weekend? Oh my god, dude. It's been so low-key not great. But I'm fine. I'm doing great, but it's just that this morning I thought I lost my cat. And I was going around for about 20 minutes, longest 20 minutes of my life, following my cat. Or not following my cat, trying to find my cat. And it was just the worst feeling I've ever had in my life. I thought I would never see her again. I was looking on the street to see if a car had hit her. It was just terrible. And then I found out that she was in one of my drawers. So, happy ending. Hi Eva, how are you doing today? Hi the Glitch Club. What's up? Yeah, I'm sorry for going on another random live. When I try to schedule lives, I feel bad because I'm always 10 minutes late, but I got you guys. I'm working on it. Time punctuality. I'm hiding outside, hiding from my mom having a cigarette. Honestly, as you should. But today's gonna be a low-key video because, like I said, I don't know. We're gonna go into this with an unbiased opinion, shall we? So, shout out to the DissociaDID Reddit for having this archived. Oh my god, you guys. Okay, so when I started watching DissociaDID, because I used to be a fan of DissociaDID, it was when I first started smoking bud. I used to jam out to this. Yeah, thank you so much. I feel so much better now. It's honestly kind of embarrassing because, it's only because I'm irresponsible and don't stretch before going on jogs. Everyone get your notebooks out. Class is in session. Listen, I don't know, but all I'm saying, you know what I mean, is that, I'm not a system, so genuinely I have no say in what is what. But at the same time, I can also refer to systems who have told me. All alleged for entertainment purposes only. Oh my god, not your fault. We've been in a really long fatigue flare and haven't had the energy to do literally anything. Honestly, that's valid. Just to, as hard as it might be, taking care of yourself is hard, but very important. Not gonna lie, dude, that countdown is low-key annoying as heck, but thank you.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video by DissociaDID. Today we're going to tell you about how we communicate as someone with dissociative identity
Did you know that DissociaDID likes psychology?
disorder and how we organise our life revolving around that. So we're going to do that today by showing you inside our journals and how we use...
I'm confused. When was this video uploaded? Because if this video was uploaded literally right after they got diagnosed, which I don't know, might be the case, then I would be more concerned than if this was even 2 years after.
...system to organise our life. So...
yeah, let me just link this video for you guys in the description. Let me know if this works. I found it on the Dissociative Reddit. It was archived. So let me know if that. I'll check. If it doesn't work, then I'll put a better link in, if that makes sense.
You can always write in whichever one you want, and that's good because when you have alters, things do tend to get misplaced relatively easily. You can see we added sticky notes down the side to help us keep track of different parts of our life. So this book is our organisation journal, and the very first thing in here you can see is rules. If you are going to make a system journal, I 100% recommend first thing you do is add some system rules. This will help your system stay in the loop with each other, know the basic right and wrongs, what we can and can't do as a system. So this is the first page. It says it's a system planner. All members can participate, and this planner is for agreed rules only. Write to us in the journal. The journal is the purple book here, which doesn't have any tabs on the side.
Sorry, you guys, I don't have a lot of commentary because it's just like, I guess what's kind of going through my mind right now is like, wow, that's a lot of organization.
That's just a diary for people to write to each other so we can communicate with each other, let us know.
Yeah, you know what, I would be curious as to how well communication works when it comes to writing in diaries.
What's been going on while someone else has been out, ask for things, basically just to talk. That's this journal, and this is to help organise, so.
Because like, this is what I've just heard from a few different people is that they say like, okay, so we'll try to use the app that Dissociative recommends. Like every time you're out, you put in the app and say that you're out, and so you'll be able to keep track of who does what when. But then I've heard people be like, dude, like my alters, I could get one or two of them to agree maybe, but like to get everybody on the same page, so right after you got diagnosed, I don't know, I really don't. Y'all already ate? I did too. I was surprised, but my mom came in clutch. She made this ham. Some freaking spinach. Why did I say spinach? What's that thing called? It's a stuffing. We have some that are great with keeping journals and others who refuse and don't care. Okay, got you. So it's like, I don't know.
If I take you to the rules page, these are our system rules. Rule number 1, be respectful and kind. No hate speech. Everyone has a right to use the body. Do not intentionally harm the body or others. You have a right to express yourself. Take care of the body, hygiene and chores. We are all responsible for collective action. Now, I want to talk about this one, number 7. We're all responsible for collective action because this is very important.
I don't know if hygiene is spelled right, but you know what? To be fair, yesterday I spelled extensions wrong in my live.
When you're in a system, some alters are inevitably going to disagree on what they feel is the right thing to do in different circumstances and may run with their time with the body. So if they're out, they'll think, great, that's great, I'm going to do whatever I want now. When it comes to this, you have to remember that
this is just for us, but communicating with a journal has never worked. Usually switches are caused by like stress, a trigger, etc. We're usually not in the mindset of writing down switches because scared. Right, like even asking me to write down my mood throughout the day would be a task, right? Like I'm a person without a dissociative disorder. We have some that participate, but most of them are just against the idea. Exactly, true. Thanks for sharing, you guys, because like it's stuff like this that it's like for me it seems interesting because what I know about the disorder is that like alters tend to be very different and I guess sometimes hard to communicate with at all. I mean, some people like the only way that they know about other alters is from therapy.
Court, DID doesn't stand up as an excuse. They're not really going to take into consideration, oh, I didn't have that memory, etc., etc., etc. If an alter upsets one of your friends, a family member, or does something wrong in the workplace, something that has consequence.
I don't know, the thing that Dissociative does is they talk about system responsibility a lot without, frankly, really having a lot of it. But my question is, like, I don't know, because it's like, is system responsibility something that naturally comes to you? Or is it something that is genuinely a problem where it's like, dude, like, that wasn't me. That sucks that I have to apologize for it. Or is it like, yeah, that was me because I have a mental illness and it is what it is. Because with Dissociative, it's kind of like the first one, or is it called the latter? I never understood the latter term, I'm going to be honest. Dissociative preaching on how alters are actually going to follow it. How alters are actually going to follow it. I have my alter 16 tore ours up. My therapist took 8 years to get them not to hate each other. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see some alters being like, all right, y'all, we got this DID happening, and now let's work together to the best of our abilities. Because as you know, Dissociative did great in school, as they would like us to know. So like they're very, I don't know, dude. And so like, at this time it was like Chloe and Kyle, like they're working together. But then maybe other alters aren't as easy to reach. Our therapist makes us write our mood like a diary chart, and it's so hard to fill out because of the daily dissociation and memory gaps. That sounds, yeah, exactly. It's like, and also it's like, how am I even feeling? And also like, it's interesting because it's like, I could be wrong, but like with DID, I've heard it's like, sometimes you have no idea who you are. You know what I mean? It's not like you switch and you're like, it's Kya. Like, sometimes, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like I've heard from a lot of people that it's like, I have to actively think about who I am. And a lot of the time I don't know and or care. I don't know. No, system responsibility is learned through the reparenting technique after alters, and it takes years. Okay, got you. So, like, it's natural to be like, I mean, I completely understand that. Like, for example, if my sister did something and I got blamed for it, I'd be like, what the heck, right? So is it like that kind of situation type deal? But at the same time, like, it is a growth to take system responsibility, obviously. Hence, my therapist had each alter write out their likes and dislikes to start trust. Then she reads them out to each alter and explains about boundaries and respect for each other. That's amazing. Yes, that is very, very common with Thank you so much for being here, Never Wonder System. Yes, that is very, very common with DID, a very harsh reality of the disorder when first starting out. I'm sure. I can't even imagine. You're right. Most of the time I have no idea who I am. Honestly, it feels like I'm gripping onto an identity that I don't have for dear life. Oh no. Yeah, so in that sense, it's like, now that I'm thinking about it, with all the dissociation, you know, Dissociative also has BPD, so then there's that involved as well. And it's like, so how do you like be like, like when they did the positive trigger, and I don't know, like I've heard from systems that like valid system, I have valid systems, like I'm gonna go ahead and say that all systems are valid, but I've heard from valid systems that like positive triggers are a thing. But I watched I watched a Dissociative video way back when I was still watching them, and Dissociative played a song by like Imagine Dragons in order to pull out Kyle, and like the second they switched, it was Kyle, and they knew that, right?
Those consequences will have to be dealt with by the entire system, not just that one alter. So it's a good practice right from the start to make sure that you all know that any action that goes on within the system that affects the external world is all of your responsibilities, not just that alter. You have to deal with it as a collective. This is just how we do it. This won't work for every system. Don't think that we're saying this is the only way to do it. This is just how
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you there.
We've decided.
How is that possible? How can she have DID and BPD? See, now I'm curious. I've heard, Eva, and everyone, I'd like everyone to know that I am not a medical professional, and also, like, please do not come to me for education in the dissociative disorders aspect, because, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like this is, although, like, I'm the one live streaming, this is like a conversation rather than me just spitting things at you. So like, what is it called? To be taken with a grain of salt? Sorry, you guys, you know how it is when you got a little bit. Yeah, so my question would, I don't know, I would have to refer to the experts when, does DID, can you be diagnosed with DID and BPD at the same time? Because from my understanding, you can. It's not possible for her therapist to do light billing codes? Positive triggers are a thing and they can be a very helpful grounding tool. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that, because now I know. We are trying several different techniques with our therapists, like essential oils, etc. We have alters that present with BPD traits as well that others display very autistic traits. Because you know what, fam? Oh God, like, okay, I'm being conscious of my my public speaking abilities right now. Can you guys tell that I've never taken a public speaking class before? Is it obvious? Yeah, but from my understanding, an alter can, like, the entire body can have, for example, autism, or, you know, one alter displays traits that they picked up from BPD or autism or on the spectrum. Like, for example, some alters will have tics. Sometimes it's because the entire body has Tourette's. Sometimes it's because it's a trauma response that the brain is wired so that it mocks as though you actually do have tics. Why am I talking right now? Then there's the whole traits versus diagnosis conversation. Yeah. Never wonder. Agree. We have multiple symptoms of PTSD, DID, BPD, etc. But billing-wise, they have to bill under one diagnostic claimed on the DSM codes. Or am I wrong? Eva... We'll have to do some research.
Is to work things out. So, for example, that if somebody did upset a friend, that alter would apologise specifically to that friend, but it would be all of our responsibility to make it up to them, if you know what I mean. Adults must protect the littles. You have a right to say how you feel. You do not have to hide, but you can if you feel you need a break. System comes before external relationships. If we start putting external things before our system, that generally ends in a little bit of drama. So it's always important to make sure that you know what...
You guys, I was making a video about borderline personality disorder and like the different types, and there is a subtypes. And there's a subtype that has more in common with histrionic, although it is BPD, it's not histrionic, it's just a subtype. I forget which one it is, but like Dissociative said they have BPD. That's all I'm saying.
What you and your system can handle and are ready to handle, and it's always important before you do anything external to make sure that your system is on board with it, that you're not feeling very switchy or traumatized or anything like that. You need to make sure that everyone...
Just, you guys, you know, if you ever want to go out one day, make sure you're not switchy or traumatized. With peace and love, Dissociative. With peace and love. Hope you're doing good.
It's okay. First things first, your mental health is most important. And when your system, I mean, for us, we've got like 23 people's mental health to take on board. So that's a very...
My thing, though, is like lately Dissociative has been posting like, I don't know, like, I guess they just kind of like will get angry at people on TikTok and then like blame it on Ruby. So I feel like this would be helpful for them right now.
Important rule as well. System comes first. You may lose and gain people in the external world throughout life, but unless an alter goes dormant or something like that happens, you are always going to have your alters in your system unless you integrate. These are the last few rules. I've covered up one of them a little bit because it's personal and relates to abuse. So, collective vote before body alteration. This means haircuts, colours, diets, piercing, tattoos.
I actually like their nails here, right? Like it's a little bit of the glitter.
Use anything that can permanently or even just temporarily change the way the body looks, obviously with the exception of things like makeup.
And the thing is like Dissociative is giving like generally good information here. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, like if they're giving any misinformation at any point, but you know, I feel like it's a pretty good idea to check in with your alters to make sure you don't go on any different hair colors, diets, piercings, tattoos. From our understanding of it, some alters can suffer from the body's I can read, y'all, don't worry. From our understanding of it, some alters can suffer from more from a body's disability from another. For example, our fibromyalgia doesn't seem to affect our middles, yet debilitating for the older ones. I think that that's what's up. This makes sense because for a lot of diagnosis, it can't be explained by other diagnoses. Yeah. What's up, Pumpkin? Thank you so much for popping in here lately. What's up? Collab idea?
Up and close because they can easily be removed, and everybody has the right to express themselves, as I already wrote in here. And I'll show you later on how we actually decide that. Attend therapy even if it's hard or scary. And this one that I'm covering up basically says don't respond to abusers. If this does happen, inform the system ASAP. Write down.
Wait, then why are they covering it up if they're just gonna read what it says?
And what you did went out in the Bujo, which is a bullet journal, which I'm not showing you today because I'm not actually sure where that's being put. DID problems, sign and date with your name. So,
oh my god, you guys, it's so cute and quirky. DID problems.
the system journal is the other journal. This one is our organizational book. If you are new.
Now I know how my friends feel when I go around saying, oh my god, it's because I'm an addict.
Welcome. Please use the purple system journal to introduce yourself. This
I'm sober now.
Is a safe place. So it's always a good idea to put a note to new alters or people who've forgotten what's going on or are new to the system so that they know how to communicate with you, where to communicate with you, and basically what's going on. That's also why we put the rules at the beginning of this book. These are the other sections. We've got members, so we've got a list, and I did put there, these labels do not define you.
You guys, it's just so funny because I haven't seen this video since I believed that they did have DID. So if you will, do me a favor, watch this video and imagine that you're me learning about DID for the first time and being like, this checks out, right? Oh my god, DID problems, so cute and quirky. It's so cute when I lose stuff. Oh my god. Okay, that was too much. Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody know if DissociaDID shows evidence of variations of writing over alters? Yes. You know, and that's the thing is like DissociaDID has so much about them that is I feel very correct in terms of the DSM and how DID presents. However, like that's because DissociaDID does a lot of research about it. Like I could do a lot of research about it and then like know this stuff, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not like you have to be a system to learn stuff like that, you know what I mean? But then when it comes to stuff that you do need to be a system for, like, the, like, brain scans, but it's like, yeah, I mean, DissociaDID, maybe they have DID, or maybe they learned from somebody else, like Multiplicity and Me or somebody, or some professional that alters have different handwriting. We had a writing expert analysis. That's so cool. And also weird. Like, it's like, they really made sure you had DID, sis. Like, they were like, all right, let's do brain scans, multiple appointments, what is this? Expert handwriting analysis. It's just interesting how, like, Dissociative went into, how long was it to the Pottergate for, like, 4 minutes? 4 minutes. It may as well have been 4 minutes. 4 hours or something. Was it like 4, 6, maybe a day? And then left and had the diagnosis of DID. Like, I've seen systems say it takes years to get diagnosed with DID. The reason I ask is hers seems similar in, wait. That's true, but we haven't gotten to the entries, so just wait, because this was all written by one alter. Glass was a movie tied to the movie Split.
List of some of our protectors. On the other page, we've got a list of our littles, so I'm not going to show you that. These are our emotion-centric alters. There's a lot more that we've found recently. That
you guys, I would never show you my littles on camera.
I'm going to need to add to this book. I haven't actually updated the members tab for a while, so don't worry about that. And
it's also interesting how Dissociative, right after getting diagnosed, was able to sit down Like, and this all is in the same handwriting, and be like, all right, so we have Jade, Nadia, and they are other, and then we have, okay, for sure, this one is a persecutor. Like, right after you got diagnosed, like, a lot of people don't even know they're alters at all. Like, they don't know anything about them.
Fragments, other / to be placed. Because this book was made a while ago, and locked alters, and again, there's loads more now, but that's basically just how we did it. I kind of wish that we hadn't done
Locked alters. Ominous.
it in categories like that. It feels very two-dimensional, so I'd say do what you feel works best for your system. You can always change it. SMAP and IMAP stands for system map and internal map. Goals and long-term goals. So with
Wait, so Dissociative... I'm curious how many systems have inner worlds, and also, my other question is, if you do have an inner world, would you be interested in drawing it for your journal? Or would it be more like a person who's faking thing so that they can actually remember? Because you need to write it down or you'll forget because you don't actually have it. Or like maybe I can see like people being like, no, I actually really do want to draw out my inner world so I have a better understanding of it. I could see it both ways. But so we've got Dissociative's goals here. We got monetization, sponsorship, collab with another system, write a book, 100 videos. University talk, you know? How does she know so much about her system? Like, I know some of my parts, but I don't know them. Right, like, my thing is, I feel that Dissociative was, like, taking info from systems who, like, have been in therapy for years. And not even that they might have that internal communication, but that they have the information that they got from other people, like therapists. You should see clips from our last, wait. So let's all collab. Oh, I thought this was gonna be like a y'all collab, but you know I'm always up for a good collab. Whom has littles hide food and our spouse or children or friends and find it later? Nobody talks about odd stuff like that with DID daily life, especially Dissociative and her trolls with peace and love. You should see a clip from our last appointment. We said, how the hell do all these people know so much about their system roles? Do they put out a hiring sign, a memo? Because what the F? We need a little help. Yeah, no, but that's also the thing, is that systems who recently got diagnosed will watch this video and be like, wait, this isn't like me. I'm not like this. I don't even know. I could be wrong. I have glimpses, but I can't see the inner world. Yeah, I mean, Dissociative, even though Chloe at the time said that she doesn't really go into the inner world a lot because she doesn't really like it in there, she was still able to draw the entire thing out and make it on Sims. I was there. I was subscribed at the time. I can't access the inner world. I know it exists, but most memory of it is erased as soon as we leave. Yeah, I mean, maybe if you, like, see little glimpses of it, you feel like making a map out of it. You know. Top 10 underhanded ways. What's up, Eric? Thank you for being here, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Top 10 underhanded ways Dissociative achieve their goals. It's due to a mild form of, bless you, aphasia. So if that... I definitely pronounced that right. I really wish I could see it vividly, as a lot of other systems seem to experience their inner world. I mean, you know what, fam? I acknowledge how much I say fam, and also I acknowledge that all systems are different, just like people who don't struggle with mental illness must be nice. What is that? And it's such a big word. Aphantasia. Also, I like your profile picture, Kira.
the goals, here are our goals for Dissociative. So 10,000
But it's interesting how you would put it in the same journal as your DID book.
subscribers, monetization, sponsorships, collabing with other systems, doing a project with a charity, writing a book, and
Something I was reading on the Dissociative Reddit is like, why is Dissociative's alters, every single one of them is like their first goal is TikTok. Like that's their fate. Like it's interesting.
You know, doing university talks and things like that. Anything that can help us to grow the channel in order to get the word out there is something that we feel very strong.
Did you hear what they said? They were like, bro, wait, let's repeat that.
Thing that can help us to grow the channel in order to get the word out there.
So they want to grow their channel in order to get the word out there, right? I have the most vivid thoughts and memories. Honestly, iconic. Either way is iconic, though, because you're perfect the way you are. I don't know if we have that, but we've done a lot of exercises for therapy where we have had to imagine or visualize things, and it was very hard. I think it made us more dissociated. I'm sure. Okay, so I linked this video in the description, but if it didn't, hold on. I'm gonna link both of these in the description and let me know. I will test it after the stream to see which one works. Right? But right now, literally, I went on the Dissociated Reddit and I clicked on this post, kya&co dissociated, gender fluid, NV versus the demoness. And then I did a little scroll. And then I found this and I clicked on this link.
Is something that we feel very strongly about it. We are trying really hard with this channel to make sure that colors, diets, peace, sign, and date. There's a MAP, stands for system. We are trying really hard with this channel to make sure that everything we talk about is based in science or is something that university talks and things like that. Anything that can help us to grow the channel in order to get the word out there is something that we feel very strongly about it. We are trying really.
It's just interesting because, like, for example, Eva, their goal is not to grow their channel or their TikTok or whatever. Their goal is to get the word out there. Like they don't necessarily want to even be a part of it. They're like, I just want to get the word out there. Like I don't care how if I'm famous, if I'm not famous, I don't care. Like that. But everyone is different, right? Interesting breakdown of that word. Okay, wait. So you're explaining this? It's basically when you can't see through your brain. People without, big word, can visualize some images while people with aphantasia will see black. Thank you for explaining that because, oh, absolutely. Thank you for asking for the link.
Really hard with this channel and to make sure that everything we talk about is based in science or is something that we do genuinely agree with. So
shout out to Dissociated for saying that they have a friend who has a snake altar, but they were actually referring to a doctor who was talking about a patient he had.
Obviously things like sponsorships and working with charities and things like that would help to get the information that we spread out there. And that's so important because it seems like there's such a lack of credible information about the ID available that's presented in an honest and reassuring way. So
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
That's why we have these goals. A lot of you ask about how we decide what to do with our hair. For this, we have the life segment, and this helps us organize everything to do with the body and
I mean, this is a great idea. You know, I think this is, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but this isn't a bad idea. The only thing that I'm curious about is like hair is not maybe a priority. I don't know if systems like I mean healing is very important, but also agreeing to not or to dye your hair is also a pretty good idea if you want to be responsible.
General life. So I'll show you this bit, which is about hair. I wrote this bit, and then you can see that's Kyle's handwriting, that's Nadia's handwriting, it's different from mine. Everybody gets to choose a hex bit, and then you can see that's Kyle's handwriting, that's Nadia's.
All right, Eva, are you still here? Let's do some handwriting analysis. They look like they were forced to be different handwritings, in my opinion. That's very much nitpicking, not any kind of fake claiming here, but like the way that this is done so perfectly, but then it's like not. And then also Nadia's handwriting changes. But that's honestly nitpicking and honestly kind of annoying that I even brought that up.
His handwriting is different from mine. Everybody gets to choose a hair color once a month. Circle down through the members list.
And also, why are you flexing? My alter's handwriting is different.
And everyone gets a turn. You can write down here what color you'd like. If you want the hair to have a break from bleaching, then we can do that too. Discuss in the journal. If you want to talk about this, please, I will listen and reply. Use up any remaining dye before...
Oh, yeah, no. The thing... I wish there was like some kind of master archive on... I know that there are like archived dissociative videos on Reddit, but I don't know if there's any kind of comprehensive like thing. Like literally. Sweet, I've been looking for this video forever. I don't know if it's actually a good video, but I watched it a while ago and I love journaling and I was just wondering if just Mandela effect video. No, you're completely correct because I actually haven't even seen this video in years. Like, this is a blind react. The last time I saw it, I was like 20 and COVID started and I was like, this is DID. It sounds like, I'm not going to say what it sounds like. I think having a journal system, pun semi-intended, to organize your life is very useful to anyone with memory issues. I have ADHD/neurodivergence, so I use a bullet journal for everything. Like, that's a great point. Like, I don't want to say that, like y'all don't make journals. Like, I'm not saying that at all. In fact, Dissociative, I would go as far as to say, this is a great journal. You're doing a great job. Which alter gets to write the headings? It was Chloe at the time. Obviously, Eric. God. No, I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding. I appreciate you so much. Everyone's handwriting is always different. Like, your handwriting is based on your energy and mood. I know, mine is the same way. Like, my handwriting will change. Literally, it can be, like, fast. It can be, like, even if sometimes my hand feels different. Oh my god, are you kidding me? They choose where their clothes and hair color and makeup. All systems I know don't even find time to do that. Some of us don't even get out of our jammies. High functioning system? Is that a thing? I'd be interested because, I think that even if that was a thing, it's different than what I'm alluding to right now, that Dissociated would be a high-functioning system, but yeah, it's interesting. I used to use I'm gonna butcher this, Bujo, until someone started destroying the pages. We tried to come up with a way that works better for us because the old way was very distressing for some of us. You know what? That's great that you tried it and now you're trying something else. Like, that's honestly, like, that's great. I'm proud. We have messy hair, or 90% of the time a hat. We did have hair down to our waist and got it shaved without this part caring what anyone else wanted. Rarely do we get dolled up. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, in an ideal world, alters have communication and are able to say, like, when and when not to dye the hair. But it's like, usually we're dealing with constant PTSD symptoms, freaking out that I just got diagnosed with DID at such a young age. It's about figuring out what you need and what works for you and your system and what will promote growth and not hinder it. That is a great point. If it's someone in your system maybe trying to hide the journal or having separate journals for different alters. Oh, okay. Bujo. Is it Spanish? Bujo. Bien.
Before buying any new ones, please make sure we can afford it. Littles ask protectors first. So Kyle had the idea of no haircuts without a majority vote, and Nadia wanted professionally done rainbow hair, which we then...
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that if I was a persecutor personally, now my opinion really doesn't matter because I'm not a persecutor and I don't have DID, so it really, really doesn't matter. But also, why would I like read this journal by like my system members before going out and doing something like that? No, actually, I think that's kind of offensive because it's like persecutor isn't even really, I don't even like that term personally because it's like, really, like, that, like, imagine calling like someone a persecutor, like just an entire person, like you're a persecutor, you are hurting yourself. It's like, no, actually I'm a hurt person, so I apologize for that. Pronounced bojo. Thank you guys. Most people with DID also suffer from severe body pain and ailments such as fibro and IBS issues. It's painful to dress up and go out 90% of the time. All I'm saying. That's not all I'm saying because obviously I could never understand, but at the same time, all I'm saying is that that's what I heard.
About in the journal and said, we can't afford that. Sorry, we do dye our hair.
I have to let my cat out. Sorry, you guys.
At home, it's all a home job. We've never had it done professionally or anything like that. So the other tabs are wish lists for the alters, what we'd like to spend our money on, things about therapy, and then just general stuff to do with life and how we organise what we do with the body and things like that. So that's what this this little journal's about. And this one is more like a diary that we use to communicate to each other. I will see if there's anything I'm happy to share with you, and I'll be right back. Another question that we get asked a lot is, do your alters have different handwriting? So I'm just going to show you a little quick peek. This is the first thing I ever wrote in this diary. It says, this is a diary for everyone. If there's an entry you don't want to be read by anyone else, maybe put private before what you'd like to write. Now, obviously, this does depend on inter-system trust, and we were trying to work out a better way to do this, but this is generally a journal used for communication rather than just getting everything down, okay? So that's what my handwriting looks like, and then Sally's handwriting.
Yeah, you guys, I want to preface and say that, like, a lot of the time in my lives, I'll say something that is not great, and that I would definitely not have said if it was in a video, so if I say I take it back, I truly take it back. Persecutors are just misguided protectors who have generally suffered the most of your system and should be accepted equally. Heart, heart, heart. Right? It's like, but we're up here with like dissociated Mara, like, and how is Mara a persecutor? I'm curious because, you know, all I see here is her being able to I like how the second cursive handwriting is italics. Wait, is that that would be so funny if is italics a font? Because that'd be funny if Dissociative was just trying to copy different fonts for different alters. Like Kyle is not Times New Roman. Someone in our system, we don't want to hide it because we want it to be used by all of us. We are using a sketchbook with blank pages, which has worked less as a routine journal and more of a collection of things we like quotes, pictures. This we want to remember and share, and artwork. That's awesome. See, that's beautiful. I used to have a system journal, but then wasn't sure if I was actually a system, so I decomposed over the pages because I was embarrassed. Like, thank you for sharing that because I'm not diagnosed with DID, but I do experience dissociative anxiety. Yeah, I do appreciate that because it's like, it's a lot of the time I feel not as simple as the way Dissociative is saying it. Like, yeah, all of your alters will for sure just use the same journal because they all get along. What's up, Eek the Ghosts? No, you're totally fine. Thank you so much for being here. For real. I feel like roles are constricting and will hinder reintegration. Exactly. Like, for example, like, I'm a person and I have different roles within myself, right? Just like every alter, I'm sure, does. It's not like a persecutor alter will do persecutor things 100% of the time. Just like sometimes I'm a protector of myself. Sometimes I'm a persecutor of myself because I'm a person, right? And I have a feeling that alters are the same way. They're people. Obviously, they're the same person, but you know what I mean. Yes, 100%. That's lit. I finally did it, y'all. We have sketchbooks and journals and planners for all of us too. Yeah, that's great. You know what? Because that's what I'm saying is like Dissocia did a good job here, you know, teaching about journaling, other than the fact that you're like glamorizing the disorder, but other than that.
Looks like that. Sally. And those are how she does her kisses. So you can see that that's very different from mine.
Okay, you know how like when you see, for example, Dissociative, I get this idea like with the Mara stuff that Dissociative is acting, if that makes any sense. And in the same way, I feel it's like that with their handwriting, because it's kind of like forced to look a different way. I could be completely nitpicking at this point, though.
Here's some writing from the main frame. I've covered up a name because it's about little. I don't think this is going to focus because I've got my hand in front of it. Sorry about that. There you go. So this is writing from the main frame, and you can see that there are slight, not really obvious differences, but slight differences in how we essentially use the hands, how we hold pens, how we write, the spaces.
I mean, it's interesting how they're going so into detail with that, though. It's like for a lot of, I understand how much I say like, and I'm working on it, y'all. But also, it seems as though, now that I can't use my catch-all word, I don't know what to say. It seems as though, I don't know.
Between our letter differences, but slight differences in how we essentially use the hands, how we...
Like, why are you bragging about that? I did it again. I can't start a sentence without saying like. I think it's healthier for me to view my experience as sub-personalities within my one identity rather than separate identities. That's a great way to think about it, because I've never really considered how a system might think about that kind of stuff. Like, do you think about it as in we are completely separate, absolutely, or do you come to the conclusion that it's like, yeah, we are separate, but also like sub-personalities within the same person? Book recommendation: Sub-Personalities, The People Inside Us. I would hit that book up. Let me screenshot this so I don't forget. For us, I would be like saying to someone who wasn't multiple, you can only be a wife or be a mother or only be a career woman. Why do parts have to be labeled with roles? Yeah, that's a good point. As in, I'm sure like protectors aren't always protectors. Maybe that's just kind of the way that their personality is a majority of the time. Confusion. We all say like, just be yourself. That's why we are here, just because we like your personality and vibe. That's so nice, because okay, I have gotten a few comments about how much I say like. But I want this to be a bully-free zone. Not that anyone's saying that me saying like a lot is bullying, because it's not. It would be, bullying is when it's repeated, I think. Is that like ego states? I definitely have more defined parts of my personality that hinder functioning, but it's not DID, and I'm trying to understand it. Something that a lot of people like, I appreciate it, is internal family systems. So it has nothing to do with dissociative identity disorder. It is a completely different thing that people without DID can use to better understand their emotions, and you can label these emotions. You can even give them names, you know, to better understand them. Not that they are at all compared to DID. However, I have heard systems use internal family systems to better understand their... Here, let me look it up. Let me look it up for y'all real quick. You know? Like, we all have... Everyone has different parts of themselves. Like, there's the firefighter who tries to put out the fire. There's the... I don't know, you guys. I think I made a video about this at some point. I apologize.
hold pens, how we write, the spaces between our letters, the shapes of our letters, whether we join our writing, all stuff like that does generally differ from alter to alter. So that is how we use our two system journals. I hope that this has been helpful and possibly given you guys some ideas. When it comes to bullet journals, again, I can't show you ours because I have misplaced it, or one of us has misplaced it. It's a very good idea to put down who's been out and at what times. If you
It's interesting, I don't know. Dissociative seems to have more organization with their alters than I even have with myself, honestly.
If you can put down the reason why they came out, whether it was a trigger switch or a random switch or anything like that, that also really helps you to keep track of what's happened with your time. If there are any triggers going on that you don't know about, what chores have been done, where the body's been, anything like that is very, very helpful if you have a bullet journal or even just a little book like this. It doesn't have to be a really nice book. You don't need to get a matching set or anything like that. You could just use a notepad. You could do it online. You could do it through voice notes if you prefer, because some of our alters can't write, so we do leave little films to each other and little voice notes and things like that as well. You don't have to do it in the traditional way. Whatever works for you, works for you. But I do find that it can be very helpful, if you can manage it, to write things down so that you've got a black and white copy of this happened at this time, and this is who it was, and this is how we feel about it. I found that this has been very, very helpful in helping our intersystem communication and trust with each other. Also, if you don't have anything to hand, like anything like this, you don't have anything to hand, no pens, no paper, whatever, no sticky notes. We use sticky notes all the time. That's another thing, actually, sticky notes. I might insert a picture here of some sticky notes that we got lesson notes on. I think I uploaded that to...
Interesting. Stop, I am overwhelmed. You are selfish, stop. Stressed, something.
Dissociative's Instagram at one point, but I'll put that in here. That's what you're looking at now, if it's there. Another thing that used to be done before we really were totally aware of what was going on with our DID, we used to have notes written on our arms, like here, whether that's in pen or lipstick.
That's interesting. Like, has anyone ever had that happen to them, as in an alter would write something on your arm? Because I could be wrong, but for a lot of the time, I don't think that you're not supposed to know that you have it. So certain alters will, like, some will be in denial that they have it, some will get it, like, throw away journals and not want people to know, because the reality is that in the notebook you're not writing like cutesy, little itsy bitsy problems. You're talking about major life trauma that got you to the point where you would not have survived unless you had split off alters. So it's, in my opinion, maybe a little bit interesting. Would it be dangerous? No, I don't think so, because I don't think that an alter would share something like that in a journal, right? You know what I mean? But it's like people are talking about how you should definitely see a therapist and go over communication with alters, because if you have any sort of communication, not only are you communicating with them, but you can also have a flood of memories that they hold, and that can re-traumatize you. So a lot of systems have talked about how, like, definitely just go over it with a professional instead of just, like, trying, I don't know, though. Like, obviously take it with a grain of salt. Did they learn about DID from that psychology book? I mean, Eric, you have to understand, they like psychology. I don't know, dude. We have an alter who likes to art and might doodle on the skin, but we never wrote messages to each other on the skin. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I do not know the answer.
Lipstick was a common one because it was easy to take off. We used to get lipstick writing on mirrors when we were in university and things like that. If you can write down a note, it's always better to do it than not do it.
Okay, you guys a lot of you are probably, I don't know. I was thinking about making kind of an updated video about why, very controversial, why it is theorized, allegedly, that Dissociative doesn't have DID, because I feel that the videos I made were made all the way back then, and there's so much more comprehensive evidence out there now, rather than just the jade, not just jade, but a lot of the alters being like a spitting image from the SRA book. And I never talked about how Dissociative allegedly stole alters from people in Facebook groups, about how, like, I don't know. Oh no, you're totally fine. We're just chilling, Pupkin. I hope everyone has a good day and night, and I hope you do as well. Very well said, Michelle. Other older alters in my own system will detour littles and even harm them if they talk. Again, reparenting roles and groups, teaching older alters that it's safe to talk now. Exactly. It's like interesting to me that you would want to have all of this communication when in reality the purpose of this alter existing and the reason that you have DID is because of this extreme trauma. So it makes sense to me that they would be like, I don't want to tell them this because I can't, or it would be terrible. I don't know though.
So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this look into a more personal aspect of our life and how we organise our life with alters and dissociative identity disorder. If you enjoyed it, please do subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell so you know when we're uploading and you'll get a little notification come up. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was enjoyable for you, helpful for you, informative. You can always go and check out our playlists. We have one called Debunking DID, where we debunk the inaccurate information, stigmas and tropes that people generally believe come with DID and tell you about the science behind it and the psychology behind DID, why it's formed, why it exists, how to live with it. And we have another playlist called Meet Our System, and that's more fun things that our alters have done, like my alters do my makeup series and things like that. So if you're new to our channel, welcome, and I hope to see you again soon. Lots of love, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at, it's weird. Let me see. I was gonna make this, I don't know, maybe not. I was gonna make this live stream about people who, come out about having faked DID and then say that they were inspired by DissociaDID. I don't know if we should talk about it a little bit today, but it's like in the same way, I know Eugenia Cooney is like a very triggering topic, very different from DissociaDID, but in the same way, it's like you're not exactly influencing people to want to be like you, as in to fake the disorder or whatever. And like you glamorizing and literally fetishizing, allegedly, a disorder isn't directly telling children to fake it, but it kind of is in a way, because it's like, I don't know, it's the same way as like an addiction, like you're looking for a way to cope. So some people are more vulnerable to it than others, I guess. So I discovered I discovered DID when I was 12 in 2020 through Anthony Padilla's Dissociative video, and I binged all of their videos while I was depressed during lockdown. I was going through, like a lot of people, an incredibly different time with my life, unalive thoughts, isolated, getting back into SH after being clean for years. I was introduced to the concept of PTSD through Dissociative and started realizing that I had it. I've been diagnosed with nothing and refused to self-diagnose in any way. Trauma was resurfacing, relatively shallow things like bullying and childhood emotional neglect. I followed Systems on Instagram and joined Discord to finally be able to talk to other people again. The servers were filled with unstable teenagers. Couldn't relate more. I am one of the unstable teenagers. Dun 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 dun. Does Dissociative still use that intro? Does anyone know? I followed Systems on Instagram and joined Discord to finally be able to talk to people again. The servers were filled with unstable teenagers. It absolutely sucked. We were each other's therapists. They were constantly telling me how they wanted to unalive themselves. That's terrible and sad, and I'm sorry that happened. Telling me about their SH, their EDs, There were a number of unalive scares and alleged attempts. One day, someone started saying that they had DID. I was constantly dissociating from myself, feeling empty and severely wanted to unalive. I had one attempt. That's so sad. There was one night during the summer where my family and I were staying in a hotel. Before anyone mentions it, yes, disrespecting COVID guidelines. Where it was too warm to sleep and I was in a feverish, delusional state. I fully knew what I was doing was wrong. I got out a notebook and wrote down the names, ages, and genders of my alters. I knew there were initially 12 children, adults, teens, 1 or 2 fictional characters. I definitely took pages out of Dissociative's alters intro book. Anyways, I created a new Discord account, joined the server, and immediately posted introductions for every one of my alters. For the next month, I lied about my life and trauma. I would answer questions about DID that I knew nothing about. I've always had a privileged life with a stable household. The only serious abuse that I am aware of now is SA at the hands of family members, and this wasn't something that I even knew about back then. But because I knew DID could only be caused by such horrific trauma, I just made it up. I said that my mother was a Christian fanatic, that I got in a car accident. I felt horrible and paranoid about people finding out. I was lying, but to me, this seemed like the only way out. I started weeding in actual things from my life, SH, unalive thoughts, body issues. I stopped being a character I played, and over time, the fake trauma was erased and replaced by my real, considerably less severe trauma. I wouldn't say that any trauma is worse than any others, but okay. It was becoming me, and eventually I was completely convinced that I actually had DID. I was addicted and obsessed with Discord. It became my entire life. My social and academic life crumbled. I would be role-playing as anime characters in class, on the bus, at home, everywhere. I had no hobbies except for Discord. I stopped making art and had no friends or loved ones. Then came the system servers. I initially joined a handful and they were absolute cesspool. What? I don't know what that word means. Hopefully it's not inappropriate. Of echo chambers, manufactured drama, and horrible people with horrible advice. I would say mental illness, but it's all right. A completely new world of people saying that they had 70, 100, or even 500 alters was revealed to me. At that point, having amassed around 30 alters using plural kit and aesthetic, detailed descriptions of a decent number of my alters. But I'm doing better now. I have friends. My relationship with my parents has significantly improved. I deleted Discord in September of 2022, which is the best decision I've ever made. I am still suffering mentally, but I am 4 months SH free. I am considering coming out as transgender and getting treatment for my mental health. My social skills are recovering, and I am finally learning new things about myself. I still think about how easy it used to feel. And sometimes I do want to go back sometimes. DID faking was surprisingly similar to me to what addiction feels like. But I have set my mind to never relapse into it. If you are reading this and you identify as a system, I am not here to dismiss all of your symptoms. All I ask for you is to put down your social media for a week and reflect. If you're faking it, I think they mean. Don't think about your symptoms and what they mean. Think about who you are as a person. Who are you without whatever disorder you believe you have? No matter who you are loved and cherished by someone out there. And there is no one, and if there is no one, there is me. I am ready to move on. All right. If someone asks, do I have proof I am diagnosed, I am not afraid to show the paperwork. It was a hard part of my life and why hide it? I can see hiding your real name, but my pain was a secret and no more. Exactly. So is the point that this is Dissociative's fault? I wouldn't say that it is, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say that it's Dissociative's fault that this person faked it. Like, maybe if Dissociative wasn't there, they would have just found someone else to copy. But they were influenced by Dissociative. Wait, I've read it, and honestly, it sounds like Dissociative played a part, but also peer pressure fitted in to gain acceptance within the Discord. Yeah, like, yeah, I mean, exactly. I've even showed my abuser's name publicly at some times. Why should I protect them? Why should I protect those whom harmed a child? It actually put fear into them to know we mean business. Exactly. Yes, Eva. I've realized it's not his story to hide, but it's mine to tell. Exactly. I appreciate you saying that. And thank you so much for sharing, Eva, because you're absolutely right. Like, it's not your secret to keep. And that's about it, y'all. I could go into more detail about this other Reddit thing later, but other than that, please check out my video about how, what is this called again? Dissociative gives dangerous tips for physical intimacy after sexual trauma and abuse. And yeah, I appreciate everyone being here. I hope you have a good day, holiday, if you celebrate, I guess. And yeah, so I will be back in the future. Have a great day, you guys. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on if you're feeling risky, comment below once the video's uploaded, become a member. It starts at 99 cents. And thank you so much to all of my members. Y'all are lit.